All right, guys, what's going on? It's Chris Azir here, back with another video today, and this time is going to be what is the truth about the world? It's neither round or flat. I'm about to get into it right now. Let me show y'all how it is. Boom. The truth about the world, neither flat or round. The world, also known as the planet, Earth, Gaia, etc. There has been debate for years that this world has been flat or round. However, there are conflicting arguments on both accounts. I will show that the use of round or flat to describe where we live is wrong. Flat Earth. The flat Earth idea is one of the earliest depictions of this planet, going back over 3,600 years. It's been talked about in holy scriptures as more of like a dome-like structure. The Bible talks about the four corners of the earth. So if you read scripture or anything like that, you've heard these things before, but these things are different. I'm talking about now. Round Earth. Modern day scientists and belief systems say that the world is round. The Earth is in a spherical shape rather than a dome. The world can now be circumnavigated, and space companies such as NASA and the state say that the world is round also. Now, if you're a modern day belief system, if you're a modern day person, you probably heard about this and you would also say that the world is round. But I'm here to tell you that's not entirely true. Problem with both theories. The world has many practical examples where it can't be round or spherical, and it also has many examples where it can't be flat as well. All right, it's easier to debunk the flat theories. Let's go with flat. How could the earth have four corners? Where are the four corners of the earth? If the earth is really flat, how come you can go to these four corners and go beyond these corners? And the thing is, I think that the four corners that they're talking about, they got some of the corners wrong, because there are some places today that if we try to go to, they won't let us go to for some reason. And now with the world being around, there are many practical examples where the world isn't entirely round, or we can't perceive it to be as round as we say it is. If you look at the mountains, if you look at the mountaintops, there's some parts of the world where it goes up, it goes down, and the world kind of does like this pattern. There are craters, there are depths within the earth. It's like when you look at the earth, you can just tell and see that it can't be entirely round per se. But now let's talk about the geocentric model versus the heliocentric. Geocentric model. It's the perspective of our solar system where the earth is at the center. This lets us know that the positions of the 12 constellations, planets, satellites such as the moons, and the sun relevant to us. This was the earliest model of our solar system in recorded history. So if you would talk about the olden days, going back to like the 1600s, Newton, Isaac Newton, all of those people in their time, bro, this is the center of model that they use. They didn't use this because it was, you know, something that they just got from the Bible. They used this model because they didn't know at the time, and they didn't have the technology to know what was truly out there and what truly was the center of this universe. So they said the best and safest guess that we can estimate is that we should make Earth the center, because it's the thing we have the most information on and or about, and just have everything circling around us. People think that they picked Earth as the center because, oh, they were just dumber at the time or whatever, or they got it from the Bible, so they thought it must be true. No, there's some actual science behind it. And I'm going to let you know why a geocentric model isn't necessarily a wrong model. It's just studying something differently. And people like astrology, the earliest astrologers used the geocentric model too. People still use this model to today because it does have its purposes. The heliocentric model. This is the perspective of our universe where the sun is at the center. This model is used to track our journey through the universe based on the sun's trajectory. This is a more modern day use system. So if you've been to school, which most of you have, you already know this is what they taught you in school. The sun is the center of the solar system, not the universe, the solar system. We all travel around the sun. But what they probably didn't tell you, or what some of you didn't learn, is that the sun is always spinning too. The earth spins, and the earth itself spins on an axis. It spins like on an angle this way, and it's also spinning around the sun while itself is spinning, right? And while it's also spinning, the sun in itself is spinning. It's spinning, going around its own path around an even bigger star. So everything in this universe is spinning, doing a spiral pattern. This is everything, right? Geo versus helio. The only real difference between the two is this perspective that we're looking at. One focuses on the Earth's travel and the other is based on the sun. People like to say one is better than the other, but that's not true because they're tracking two different things. It's like comparing soccer and basketball when the only thing they have in common is the ball. Like, come on. Similarities, Geo and Helio. They both are tracking what goes on in the stars. Both are models of the solar system. Both follow the patterns of the universe. And we are bound to only seeing and perceiving this universe from a 90-degree perspective. I'm going to go into that. First off, what we perceive. As you can see here from these pictures, this is a picture of a galaxy. This is a picture of a flower. This is a picture of another plant. This is the picture of a hurricane. This is the picture of another plant. And this is the picture of a seashell. As you can see in all these pictures, they all have this kind of nine shape, this spiral type pattern. Whoop, let me put that back. Hold up. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that like right there. They all have this like spiral type pattern. There are patterns in this universe that all of these things follow, right? It doesn't matter where you look, how big you look or how small you look. Even if you look at the patterns on your fingers, they're in a spiral type pattern. Everything in this universe follows this spiral type pattern. It's called a Fibonacci sequence. So everything that's 3D in this universe has this spiral effect. Even other planets and celestial bodies should have this spiral effect too. So we only ever see one side of anything in our sky. Is it impossible to say that the world is also following this spiral type pattern? And then is it only possible to say that we've only seen one perspective of this world? Now let me break this down, right? We see everything at in a 90-degree angle. We as humans only have a perspective of 90 degrees, right? And I'll tell you why. We can move our head this way. We can spin our bodies in a 360-degree pattern, right? I could spin my body around, spin my chair around 360 degrees, doing front, back, side to side, diagonal wise, but my eyes in my head will only let me perceive 90 degrees. My eyes, because we can't think about it. We don't hear the universe. We don't hear the sun. We usually use what we can see. Our main use of we don't smell it. We can't taste the stars. You know what I mean? We don't do any of that. We usually use use some kind of optic lens type system to perceive the stars in our solar systems and things like that. Our main use is our eyes. And our eyes only let us see 90 degrees of whatever we're looking at, whatever we're facing. We can never see what is behind us at any given point in time. I can never see what's behind me. You can never see what's behind you. So when we're looking at the stars, we're looking at the moon, we're looking at the planet Earth, we only ever see, look, boom. We only ever see one side of the earth, one side of the moon, one side of the sun ever, right? Because what some of you didn't know, because remember what I said, everything is spinning, but that doesn't mean everything is spinning the way you think it's spinning. We think that when we see, for example, the moon at night, the moon is spinning this way. So we're seeing every side of the moon. No, the moon spins this way. Anytime you ever see the moon at night, you only will ever see it spinning in a clockwise manner. It's following a clock. When you look at a clock on your wall, your clock doesn't spin 60 degrees. You never see, 360 degrees. You never see the back of your clock, right? You only see the tick of the clock following a clockwise manner going this way. This is how the moon spins. we've never actually seen the backside of the moon. I don't have a picture of the moon here, but we've never actually seen the backside of the moon. So when people in the flat earth department say that the earth is flat, you can't say that they're necessarily wrong, because we don't have enough information to necessarily say that we're right and that the world is round. And you got to be careful, because if you could look here, this is a computer generated image. If you go to NASA or to any of these websites, bro, they'll all tell you the exact same thing. This is a computer generated image. We have never gotten a good enough, quote unquote, good enough camera view of the earth at any angle, at any given angle or point, to see the entirety of the earth in one shot. Never. This is a computer generated image of the different pictures and positions of the earth that they curved into a ball and made it round. We have never gotten a good full picture of the earth. I don't even know how we would be able to get that angle. We would need to how will we get it? Again, we only can perceive things from a 90-degree view, one-sided. We will never be able to see the full picture of the earth and how it actually looks. So we are going by a safe bet and saying that it is round or spherical, but I say it just follows a spiral type pattern. But here, what do we know? The earth is 70% water, and we only have mapped out about 5% of the sea floor. That means there's 65% of the earth that we haven't even explored yet. We barely know what's out there on our own planet, and we still aim for the stars. So if we barely know what's here and how this earth really is, why are we aiming for the stars? That's why I'm going to present to you a new model that I found, the cosmic egg theory. The universe is 3D, therefore this world is as well. However, if we follow the spiral pattern of this universe that I showed you earlier, right? The world would be shaped more like an egg, spiraling from top to bottom, kind of like an egg. This combines two models and makes sense of both of them, right? Because we only ever see the one side of everything. And then if you look here at the picture, this is like this area. These areas are the portions of the earth that we've been to, right? These are the stars. These are the planets. These are the different planets in the sky. You got the sun over here somewhere. And it makes more sense for this world to be more like an egg or than more of a globe or just a flat surface, because there are different parts of this world that we haven't even been to yet. There's 65% of this world that we haven't explored yet. But I think it's even more than that, because there are certain areas in this world that we as common people aren't allowed to go to yet. Like, for example, Antarctica and the South Pole. Those two places are some places that are off limit. Governments around the world have teamed up and worked together to stop people from going to those places. We have absolutely no idea what they're doing up there or what's over there. This world could be much, much larger than we think it is. We think we're traveling the world in a 360-degree motion or manner. We might just be flying, because think about what I said about the moon. We might think we're traveling the world this way. You know what I'm saying? We think we might be traveling the world this way, but in reality, we could just be traveling the world in a clockwise manner, following the same circle. There could be so much more behind that we're not even aware of. There could be so much more behind that we're not even aware of, that we don't even know. But it's been Chris Desir. Hold up, before I go, if you guys want a one-on-one with me, where you want to talk about how to prepare, spiritual talk, how to get your life in order, Have any questions? Click my link in the description below. Schedule a one-on-one with me. It's very cheap. I gotta preserve my time, and that's why I put a price on it. And those who decide to put money down are people who are really, really, really willing and able to get their life in order and do what they gotta do. Trust me, I've tried doing things for free, man. People waste your time. I've wasted my time, and people will waste your time too. You can't keep doing everything for free because people just don't respect it. But listen, if you really need something from me, because I'm gonna start promoting this earlier, I got a new Discord group where y'all can talk to one another. I'm still working on it, so it's not perfect yet, right? And I got this one-on-one with me. So if you want some of my time, make time. But this has been Chris Desir, 100 Agency. Catch y'all next time.